Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. Okay, and in this episode we're outside. However, it's probably going to rain pretty soon, but for right now it's really nice out and kind of warm out too. Now listen, when you play a show or you want to take an amplifier somewhere, right, the weight of the amp is a big deal, right? And I mean, I can remember even getting it from your car to your house, right? And I mean, we're talking this, what 10, 20 steps. Can be very difficult. I remember a Fender Twin, quite a heavy amp, you know, and I mean, I barely got it into the house. It was so heavy. Okay. The other thing is big amps in the home. Well, they take up a lot of space, right? And which is fine, but they're kind of hard to move around. Now, if you're lucky, an amp or cabinet will have casters, right? So wheels, so that you can roll it around. Much nicer, you know, especially if you've got to take it somewhere, right? But what do you do if an amp doesn't have casters? I mean, I guess you could drill into the amp and put in casters, you know, but I don't know. I don't like doing that, especially with expensive amps. I mean, who knows, you know, we may ruin the sound of it, or, you know, I don't know. I don't like the idea much, right? So I was walking around a strange store, really. It has rural things in it, like almost farm stuff, you know, like horse feed, stuff like that, hay and stuff. But I did find something very useful, and maybe this could be worthwhile to use. We will find out. And what it is, well, let's just take a look at it. And here it is. Well, that looks almost like a dolly. And look at that. Big old casters. Plastic wheels right there. Right? Carpeted ends. Right here. And it's pretty darn simple, right? Simple construction. And people will say, oh, well, you know, I could build one of those, right? Sure you could, right? Then you're also going to have to pay for the set of casters. You have to take the time, put it together, right? And even put the carpeting on each end, right? Now, how much time and money do you have in parts just for that? Ouch, right? So I thought about it, and I thought, man, maybe this would really work out well, especially for heavy amps. I wouldn't mind rolling them around instead of having to lift them and kill my back every time, right? So here you go. And this is from Olympia Tools, furniture dolly with 4 swivel casters. So this is actually a furniture dolly, but it sure as heck could double as an amp dolly, right? Or speaker cabinet dolly. Alright, now, cost. Now I'm telling you, I could have sworn I was in that store and it was like 13 bucks. And now it's like 21 bucks. However, I figured, well, look, 20 bucks, you know. For me, I'd probably spend that just in the wood and the carpeting and the casters, right? Not to mention the time to make this, and I probably wouldn't make it as well, you know. So 20 bucks, okay, fine. If it serves my purpose, it might be worthwhile, right? And I know it's a temptation. I mean, I'm certainly tempted, but I know better. I think I need to pass on this wisdom. I know that the first thing you want to do with this thing is see if you could use it as a skateboard, right? You know, or something like that. In other words, get on it and try to roll. Bad idea. Don't do it. Bad idea. You know, I mean, you gotta remember, this is just little wood. It might snap in half, right? Or you might fall and snap in half. Ouch. Don't do it. Okay. So, let's see if this works. Okay? Alright, now here I've got this enormous, heavy trainer monitor speaker and horn. Okay, I think it's a big old 15-inch and a horn. Alright, and if I were to carry that normally, right, well, that would weigh a ton. Ow, my back. Ow, my back. Ow, my back. Here it is. So let's see what happens if we just push that. Wow, look at that. Huh? Well, I can just move that around. Wow. Just push it on my foot. Come on. Yes. Mission accomplished. So there you go. That's with the furniture dolly. So we have a success there. Okay, so that was successful. And it really does work. It seems so common sense, but I'll tell you what. Never fails. I've seen people trying to lift super heavy, you know, 2x12s, 4x12s, breaking their backs, you know. Ow, my back. Ow, my back. Ow, my back. You want to avoid that if you can, and here's one cheap way of doing it. And remember, it can be used indoors. Alright, now I'm inside here, and here's a little Marshall 2x12. Well, I want to move it, right? Not so easy said than done, right? I mean, I could try and carry it with the handle there. Hold on. Oh, jeez. It's not budging. I wonder what a solution could be. Okay, well, this was a fail. Look at this. Trying to put the 2x12 cabinet on the caster thing, and because of the space in between the wood, look, it doesn't fit, right? Because if you look, oh, well, there's a hole, right? Right there. So, one thing that could be done is add a piece of wood, right? So that it's solid across, and you could put even real thin cabinets on it, you know, without it having fallen the hole. Let's see if we can find something temporarily. Alright, now look, this isn't ideal, but it's on there, but I had to put a piece of wood right there, right, so it wouldn't fall in the hole. Problem is, the piece of wood's a little bit too high, right? It should fit in between the carpeted parts. But now, I should be able to, look at that. Wow. It does work. You know, so I'm able to roll that around a bit. Okay, so it does roll, which is great. So this would work. Hold on. Okay, now here I've got it going across the two pieces of wood, but you see this right here, this area, there's no wood. So it falls into the hole because it's not very wide, you know. Now in this sense, I can, you know, roll this around okay. That's no problem at all. Alright, we can roll it. The problem is it's facing the wrong way. I want to be able to roll it into that space right there fairly easily. So what I'm going to do is go to the hardware store and get a piece of wood that's going to cover that hole, right? And it will fit within this carpeting, right, on each side. You'll see there's the other side. And that way we can turn the cabinet so that it fits correctly, you know, and then it's well, then we can wheel it around. You know, if I had the big space, it'd be no problem, but you know, there's other amps and stuff getting in the way of that. Okay. So what do you think, matey? Do we need to change this? Alright, now, I've never been more humiliated. More humiliated. More humiliated. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, I think we found a flaw in this dolly. And that is that, you know, there's a hole in between the two pieces of wood, right? And the problem is a lot of these cabinets and amplifiers are not very wide, so they fall in the hole, like that 2x12 cabinet. Now listen, the solution to that obviously is fill in the hole with a piece of wood. It would make it more secure anyway, right? So I'm definitely going to get the measurements and go to the hardware store, just buy a scrap piece of wood, you know, and we're going to put it in there and see how that goes. And that'll be part 2 of the video. So for right now, we can use it to move stuff, you know, but for me, you know, if I put that 2x12 cabinet on it, right, it's only going to fit one way and it's pointing the wrong way, you know, for what I want to do. I mean, obviously if I, you know, point it vertically, but it would take up much more space. I think part 2 of the video should be, well, what's it like once I add that piece of wood? Okay, now, what is missing from this equation? Right? And that is, you know, if you want to be careful with your equipment, okay, one thing you could do is use straps, like bicycle straps, you know, and strap it around the equipment, you know. Now in this case, it's quite heavy, you know, so it's not really going anywhere when I put that trainer monitor on it. So you just move that around, right? Makes it much simpler. But you could put straps on it, you know, if you're going long distances. I mean, here I'm basically just going down my entryway there, you know. Pretty cool. And for 21 bucks, okay, fine. I thought that was a little expensive, but, you know, and what are you going to pay if you had to order a set of casters like that? You know, what, 10 bucks maybe? For a set of 4, and all the screws and everything, the washers and the plate and everything, probably, plus the wood or the carpet, you know. And then, not to mention all the time to put it together, right? I mean, that's a real pain in the butt. So, you know, 20 bucks seems reasonable. Would have rather paid 13, quite frankly, but, you know, and I had to pay sales tax. But at least I got a free bag of popcorn when you walk in. So that was kind of a bonus too, you know. You know, it's the Olympia furniture dolly. Very nice. Very nice. And I'll tell you what, it's a nice way to move heavy equipment around without, doing permanent damage to the actual equipment. Like a Fender Deluxe Reverb tube amp, it's not all that heavy or anything, but if I wanted it on a dolly, I could use this instead of, having to drill into the amp, the bottom of the amp and trying to install the casters and all that business. Right? Very useful. Okay, so I thought I'd show you that. No, I just walked through the store and I thought, maybe this could be useful. My goodness, the burst of wind knocked my camera over. I'm best to be getting inside. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I think that's the end of the nice weather. Okay, so very good. I wanted to show you that, and maybe that's something you could use too. Alright, see you next time.